City Slickers. Welcome to another special installment. Oh my God! Hank the Tank just got dive bombed by his own partner. Axe handle to the back of the head of Hank the Tank. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, right into the screen. Oh, right into the screen. My God, he's broken in half. The worst is yet to come. What's up, Big Hank? Yes, I'm doing all right, my fine friend and partner, Idaho Fight fan. I'm doing all right. I am the big brother of Big Onk MMA, also known as Anakin MMA. By God! By God! No, don't do it! No, don't do it! Oh, God, no! As God is my witness, he is broken mentally. But yeah. It is a time for another edition of Tank Tier List Time on Thursday. Tank Tier List Thursday, I guess. And as always, we have our ginormous slideshow with all the hits. We have, let's see, what are some of our picks that we've put up on here? We've got the Road Warriors, got the Midnight Express, the Brothers of Destruction. We have Idaho's mandatory pick of the Hardy Boys in S tier, all in S tier. Then we got the Briscoe Brothers. Surprisingly, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew ended up in A tier. Rock and Roll Express, Heart Foundation, British Bulldogs. Speaking of Bulldogs, we have the Steiners right next to them. And then, of course, we had the Ruckers. Booker T and Goldust because I insisted. The Wyatt family, the Young Bucks, New Day, and the Usos somehow end up in C tier, right alongside Mr. Fuji and Professor Tanaka. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we still got a bunch of teams to rank, and hopefully you guys can get it right this time around. I watched a whole documentary on Vince McMahon. Yeah, it didn't really give you the whole story, though, did it? Didn't talk about the part that everyone was interested in. Just talked about, oh, the character and the person. Ooh, who knows? They're one and the same. My God. Hey, bud. How's it going, Andrew B? Greetings, Hank. Hello, Trace. Always wonderful to see Trace in here. Wait, where is DX? Break it down. Boom. Where is DX? Well, there is a team as part of DX that I am going to include. Man, that team completely skipped my mind. How are they not on here? I'll save them for last. Yeah, but that's definitely needed. Well, I'm surprised no one even mentioned them yet. No, I did talk all about that insane. Noah did talk about all that insane stuff. It did? Okay, that's good. It got really dark very fast. Okay, good. Is Kane and Undertaker a tag team? Yeah, they're the Brothers of Destruction. That's what they're called. Let me make sure that I got a picture of DX, just in case. Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Oh, no. What are you doing, Triple H? You son of a bitch. My God, you son of a bitch. That's all I remember is JR just being pissed with Triple H all the time. You son of a, you bastard. All right. I guess I'll include them in that. All right. They're part of the list. I watched in the 2000s. So, of course, Hardy Boys and DX were the ish, the biznatch, the ish-knit. Sweet Chin Music. Shawn Michaels is tuning up the band. Oh, my God. Edge and Randy Orton, right? Rated RKO. Oh, God. Community's already adding more. This ain't good for old Hanker. This thing will be going on forever, I tell you. Rated RKO. Now that we have a 2000s fan in here, all of a sudden all these teams that weren't mentioned whatsoever are here. What's a good image? Yeah, this one is. All right, there we go. Swanton Bomb, bro. Yeah, well, that's from Jeff Hardy. It's good stuff. He could do that from anywhere. From the Titantron. He could do it off a steel cage. But let me tell you, when Jeff Hardy misses and his opponents still have to sell, that's when things get real bad. DX had the best song. Degeneration X. Degeneration X. Tell him. X-Pac. And then that had all its sub factions as well. Oh God, what was that? Yo, you're looking at the X Factor. I got everything I ever wanted, and I'll never leave that back. You don't gotta be with me like that. I say you ain't gotta treat me like that yet. So what you looking at? Yo, you're dealing with the X Factor. But the best was oh God, you think you're clever? Well, you better get ready. Make some noise, X-Pac. Do 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 do. Let's see. How do I get out of here? There we go. Just got tired of doing what you told me to do, man. Take a break, little man. All right, let's get to the tag teams. What should I start off with? Ooh, I know what to do. I'm starting off with a big team. Let's see. Oops. Very good. Where is it? That's not you. No, it's desktop. Dummy. Yeah. Let's see. Come on. I hate it when it does this. All right. Finally. There we go. Now I'm in the list. And to start it off, I'm going to go with the classic pair. The Nasty Boys. You see. What were their names? I forget what their names were. John, I think there was like Axel Rotten, and then the other guy wasn't named Johnny Rotten, I think. Was it? I'm not sure. One of them was definitely named Axel. Now you got Girls from Rave stealing his whole style, his whole flow. Jeff Hardy? That's true. Jeff Hardy invented the rave. Plur, nah, son. Jeff Hardy started that. He started everything. Was Rey Mysterio ever in a tag team? He was with oh God, I think it was with Edge. I think Edge and Rey Mysterio were in a tag team because in the early 2000s, there was the SmackDown 6, and that included Edge and Rey Mysterio. So they basically had the SmackDown 6 all wrestle each other. And Rey teamed with Edge at some point, I think. And then that's how Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle won the tag team titles. Had a fantastic match with those two. And then at some point, Rey Mysterio also teamed with Batista, who then, of course, betrayed Rey. And was like, I'm going to rip your head off. And then he clotheslined Rey Mysterio, and they had a big feud. And then, actually, in recent years, there was Rey Mysterio and his brother Dominic. You remember the custody of Dominic Mysterio ladder match, right? Well, Dominic Mysterio, Rey's son, ended up growing up to the point where he could actually wrestle with his dad as part of a tag team. And then Dominic Mysterio and Rey won the tag belts at some point. Did Rey Mysterio and Batista win the tag titles? I'm not sure. I know that Dominic and Rey did, though. And then, of course, like any tag team with Rey Mysterio, Dominic betrayed his own father. And that set off a huge feud between them, and it was fantastic. And he was Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Good stuff all around. And now he does his hair and facial hair just like Eddie Guerrero, too. Like father, like son, you know? Unlikely pair. Used to love Chris Benoit. Yeah, until he literally murdered his whole family and himself. How dare Bautista do that? Well, I mean, he was an emotional guy, okay? They were losing a bunch of matches. Things were not going well for them, okay? No, I never even knew Ray's son was a wrestler. He grew up, dude. Now, if you can believe it, Dominic is even taller than his father is. What's up with people betraying Ray? Well, that's the thing, man. Ray's a wrestler who never turns heel, who's never been a bad guy. So, unfortunately, everybody around him has to turn on him at some point. That's how he stays a babyface. But anyway, now I remember their names. Ian and Axel. Thank you for having that conversation with me, Idaho, because it made me remember. Ian and Axel Rotten, the Nasty Boys. WWF Tag Team Champions. ECW Tag Team Champions. WCW Tag Team Champions. Let's take a look at this tab. The Nasty Boys. Here they are, ladies and germs. Distinctive all-black street look. Nice. Very commonplace among today's wrestlers, was very different from the colorful attire of the late 80s and early 90s. And they had the graffiti sprayed shirts. That's right. And freaking mullet hawk haircuts. Let's go, dude. Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags. Let them move up the card in Memphis and as a heel team against the Rockers. Wow. So they wrestled in AWA first. Went to WCW. Weren't able to beat the Steiners. Then they went to the WWF. And then they beat the they beat the Legion of Doom. They beat the Road Warriors to win the tag titles. That's impressive. That's pretty good in my book. Held the title until SummerSlam 1991. Beat by the Legion of Doom, of course. Feuded with the Rockers, Bushwhackers. Let's see. Beat Money Inc. and the Beverly Brothers, but they couldn't beat weren't able to regain the titles. And then let Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake have a title shot. Oh, God. Even in Hulk Hogan's tag team match at WrestleMania, he was forcing other tag teams to step aside. Fucking such an evil little politician he is. Then they went back to WCW and immediately became the WCW World Tag Team Champions. Lost the titles. Oh, good names. Oh, yeah, they fought Cactus Jack and Max Payne. That was a bunch of great matches. Supposed to fight Kevin Sullivan and his dyslexic brother. What the hell? Then they feuded with Harlem Heat, the Blue Bloods. Three-time WCW Tag Team Champions, beating Harlem Heat. And they beat up the NWO. Went to the independent circuit. And then they came back. Wow, I mean, I think they were in ECW for a time. Are you kidding me? They weren't? Shoot interview, ECW. I could have sworn they were there. One more RVD was another one of my favorite wrestlers. Who did he team with? I remember he teamed with somebody. Was it No, it wasn't. No way it was. Who was? I think he teamed with Sabu. Could have sworn he teamed with Sabu. But I could be wrong. Let me check that. You can't go on the list because you didn't have a tag team that was, like, famous. Let me put team. I was right. Had feuds with Jerry Lynn and Sabu, also forming a tag team with the latter. See, I told you. It was Sabu! Oh my God! Now this is extreme! It's the ECW! Mikey likes it! Good stuff, man. But yeah, that's the career of the Nasty Boys. Had a first tag team title run was in the WWF, beating the Road Warriors, which is pretty impressive. And then they went to WCW, 3-time WCW Tag Team Champions. I think a lot of wrestling fans know who the Nasty Boys are. And then they had a nostalgia act later on, worked the regionals, and that was it. I'm considering placing them in B tier, honestly. Like, that's a good time to be winning the tag titles from the Road Warriors in the 90s. 3-time WCW champions. It's tough because we got acts like the New Day and the Usos in the C tier, Mega Powers in C tier. Yeah, but people know them more than the Wild Samoans or the Fabulous Kangaroos and the oh man, what are their names? Why am I forgetting this guy's name? The Briscoe brothers. The original Briscoe brothers in the 70s. I feel like people know the Nasty Boys more than those guys. I think that warrants them being in B tier, honestly. I think they're a pretty iconic tag team. The Nasty Boys. They sound gross. Yeah, you don't want to smell their breath after they're done partying. They get nasty. All right, Hank, have a good stream today. Thank you, Idaho. I appreciate you stopping by. But let's rank this tag team. And we appear to have someone else other than Idaho here in the chat. So I'm going to leave it to you to decide this. If I don't hear a response in a few minutes, then I'll make the decision myself. I'll make it myself. Let's see. Where do we rank the Nasty Boys? Those Nasty Boys. Here, I'll start a poll. The Nasty Patty. I'm having it between B and C. I don't think they warrant A. I'll leave it up to the people. I did it for the rock. I did it for the people. Oh, shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. Let me make the image a little bit bigger again. And here they are, those two handsome, strapping young lads. Ian and Axel Rotten. Jerry Sags and Bob Saget. Oh, Bob Saget! So the poll is up if you want to vote. And then I'll rank them if there are no takers. And I'm gonna go through the whole freaking thing, and I'm gonna speed run it if nobody's here, just because I don't want to put anybody through more torture. You know what I'm saying? 1 minute ago. The clock strikes 2 minutes ago, then I'm putting them in myself. And you know what? That's okay. In the granite, what a guy. Well, it's a real shame. Everyone's lost faith. It's okay. I'm going to keep doing my thing. Okay, 2 minutes, 0 votes. All right, I'm putting them in B tier. And you know what, guys? I think I'm going to speed run this thing and put an end to it. Most likely. Yeah, it's okay. These things happen. Can't go on forever, everybody. All right, next pick we got. Well, I got an idea. Let's see. There we go. Money, 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 money. Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. Because the $1 Million Man always gets his way. Good old Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster, IRS. Yes, you. Let's take a quick brief tour through their careers. Held the WWF tag titles 3 times. Beat the Legion of Doom, Natural Disasters, which we'll get to, the Steiner Recliners, and let's see who else. And beat the Steiner brothers for the titles. That's not bad. Had a feud with Hogan and Beefcake. That is sort of an honor to be able to wrestle those two. And then they were reunited. $1 Million Corporation, the New World Order. Oh, yeah, that's right. DiBiase was in the New World Order at one point. I forgot about that. Yeah, they work so perfectly because one's money and one's taxes. But they both help each other out just a little bit. $1 Million title. He bought the WWF title. 2 characters fit well together. Pair them together in late 1991. And then they beat... Oh, bribe, of course. That's how they got a contract. Fired Hart. Aw, they fired Jimmy. That's just cruel. That's sick. And then the WWF $1 Million title belt. Okay. Fought the Legion of Doom. Yeah, Legion of Doom had their fingerprints all over WWF. Hankus Pocus, Hocus Pocus. How's it going, Vinny the Guinea? I've been working on some new impressions, bud. Put some in my list of impressions that I've been trying to do. But I don't think I'm ready just yet. But I will be probably... Sunday would probably actually be a good day. Asa! Hey, man, if you need someone to hop on, I'll go on. It's all right, dude. If you got time that you could spend otherwise, you can do your own thing, man. But if you want to hang out, if you really want to do a collab with me on here, go ahead. I'll give you the green light. God willing, dude, I'm down. All right, sounds good. But good to see you again, No Chill. But yeah, it's not necessary for you to help me out unless you really want to, unless you want to get involved with the stream. But don't think it's a requirement. Anyway, let's see. The Money Inc. beat the Nasty Boys and the Natural Disasters. Jerry Sachs and Nasty Boys pinned IRS. Oh man, and then the Mega Maniacs. Ooh, IRS in 1994. Honestly, it looks like he hasn't changed all that much. So they won the tag titles a few times. Listen, I love these two as characters. I love the vignettes for $1 Million Man and IRS. But as tag team champions, I didn't consider them all that memorable. So, and I don't think they're on the same, plane as the Rockers. I know they won more tag titles than the Rockers, but people know the Rockers more. People know the Young Bucks and the Freebirds more. If Usos and New Day are going in C tier, I think these two should be in C tier as well, unfortunately. Yeah, been a while since I talked about WWE with someone. All right, I can put the link down in the chat. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let's see. All right, there we go. StreamYard is open, so anyone who wants to can hop in here and hang out with old Hank as I try to put the finishing touches on this big tier list I've been working on for a month. All right. So there is Money Inc. Unfortunately, I really love the characters, but honestly, not much was memorable when they were together. So for that reason, I have to rank them pretty low. Let's move on to our next big tag team. And it will be, let's see. No, it doesn't go that far. Or does it? No. Here we go. I found it. All right, next big team. Here we go. This one's a classic. We got the the badass Billy Gunn. The Road Dogg Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. Oh, you didn't know? Y'all better call somebody. Pulling in the driveway. We'll be there in 5. Sounds good, No Chill. Appreciate it, man. All right. Where do these two rank? They've won the tag titles a bunch. And even though they're not the most entertaining tag team in terms of like match quality, everybody knows the New Age Outlaws. They're such an iconic team. They came back in 2014 and won the belts again. Yeah, there they are in 2011. Who would have known 3 years later they would start a tag team title run? Professional wrestling stable, D-Generation X. Boom, 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 do, do. One of the greatest tag teams of all time. Promotion has described James and Gunn as the most popular duo of WWE's Attitude Era. Most popular, which is crazy. And they had a lot of competition. Third highest merchandise sales in the WWF. That's insane. That's unbelievable. Reformed in several promotions. TNA, of course. Actually, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, and of course, the badass Billy Gunn still works in the AEW with the Acclaimed. Oh, God. I miss the Acclaimed at their peak, dude. Scissor me, daddy! No, did he? But, yeah, they just had... I mean, literally, the New Age Outlaws were so timeless. One of them went to AEW and made the most popular tag team in AEW. Just with the catchphrase and some charisma and some promos. That shows just like how to put it. Like, it just goes to show the timeless nature of their success. Five-time WWF World Tag Team Champions. And the WWE Tag Team Champion. Six time. Let's see. Hold the record for most time between title reigns. Oh, that's right. More than 14 years. Of course, they went from the Smoking Guns and Road Dogg working with Jeff Jarrett to working together. And it would be the match made in heaven, pretty much. Crowd is heels. 4th tag team title run. Man, 4th. Which shows that Gunn had been in there for a while. Poor Bart Gunn, by the way. Billy Gunn's brother got absolutely screwed over. And joined DX. Began a feud with Mick Foley. And then, of course, who would have Chainsaw Charlie with them. Or Terry Funk. The Funker. And then worked with Triple H, X-Pac. Won the tag team titles a bunch. They were in Vince's corporations? Oh, no, they failed to attempt them. Slowly drift apart, but each man striving for singles gold. Yeah, but they'd still, like, have a good run as tag teams for, like, into 2000. And then they reunited. Well, Gunn was released. Ongoing drug issues. No. Crap. And in TNA. Only just called the New Age Outlaw. Just the Outlaw. That's weird. No wonder it failed in TNA. Sometimes it can just come down to a name, guys. You got the wrong name, people will shit all over it. It seems to me like they didn't have a very memorable run in TNA. Yuck, thank God they went back to WWE. Reformed D-Generation X for one night only. Old School, of course. Beat Primo and Epico. Yeah, but then, oh my God. Abandoned Punk. Why would they abandon Punk? Oh, turned heel. Jesus. Oh, they beat Rhodes and Goldust. Huh. Then they had some matches back and forth, some defenses. Impressive they successfully defended against the Usos. Lost in a rematch. And then, of course, they helped out Sting at WrestleMania 31. Oh, and this was the segment, I think, where Triple H called AEW a pissant company and then defeated the Revival. Yuck, dude. Shake, rattle, and roll. Oh, man. The Balor Club. Remember that? And we love that, folks, and we love that. The Balor Club with Gallows and Anderson. The old freaking the OG Bullet Club. Before AJ stole it away, of course. But anyway, then let's talk about these two. They're iconic. God, where do I put them? I think A tier is at a minimum. And then in terms of S tier, are they really up there? I mean, APA is S tier, according to the people. People know these guys more than the British Bulldogs and the Hart Foundation. Again, it's BS that the Rock and Roll Express is down there at A. Edge and Christian's down there too, though. That's sort of difficult. It's tough because they're terrible in ring wise. Honestly, APA didn't have that many good matches either. Where do I put them? Freaking Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are only an A tier. Oh, this makes it very tough. I don't know. I might legit have to flip a coin. Here, let's try this. All right, heads is I didn't ask to flip. All right, let's share this. All right, so heads is S and A tails is A. Tails. They're only an A tier. And honestly, I think that was a pretty good choice. Because honestly, I didn't like any of their matches. Can you name one New Age Outlaws match? OV didn't score. We're never going to score. OVI never scores. We're never going to score, butthead. Oh, man. Is that a hockey team? Or is that someone different? But yeah, I am placing the New Age Outlaws right here, baby. Right here in A tier, unfortunately. It is what it is. OVI didn't score. Let me take a look. OV Sport. OV Football Foundation. Oh, he was frustrated after this one. Oh, it is hockey. Oh, 6 away from breaking the record. Darn. Well, that's a shame. Sorry to hear that, Isha. But let's get on to the next tag team. Bump 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 no 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 no. All right, next big team. Who do we have? Oh, let me check this. No, there's one more. There's one more tag team that I haven't included yet. Where is it? They're not showing them, so I'm gonna go grab it. Here we go. What's a good picture for this? This is a classic one. There we go. The Rock and Sock Connection. I present to you Mr. Rocco. Do you smell what the sock is cooking? Woo! I can't believe it, JR. Who in the Rudy Poo are you? It's me, Rock. It's me. Your good friend Mick Foley. Do you have the testicular fortitude to have this tag team with me? Mankind. I wouldn't hang out with you, you sick freak. And then, of course, they went on to win the tag team titles. Now, I just want to know, Rock, now that you've won the tag team titles with me, how does that make you feel? Well, The Rock, it doesn't matter how it makes you feel. Rock and Sock, dude. Come on. They only won the tag team titles a few times, but they're the best odd couple tag team ever. I'm sorry. God, because I said that Booker T and Goldust were. But that's not true. It's not true. These guys had great segments just like them, and they were super duper over. Super duper over. And had some iconic moments together. Sound like a villager in Minecraft. They, I believe they beat Big Show and someone else. I think they beat Big Show and Undertaker. Let's see. The tag team title three times, which is not bad for such a short-lived team. Of course, The Rock was the handpicked champion. Yes, and then they beat Undertaker and Big Show. Career suicide. Yeah, I don't think so. If anything, it elevated both men's careers. And then Mick and Dwayne. Yeah, it's weird that they're calling them by their real names. Helped Raw's War achieve its highest rating ever. Featuring him and The Rock. Oh, yeah, this is your life segment. 8.4, wow. Rock told Mankind he was tired of him. And that sucked that they had to split. Challenged the New Age Outlaws. Let's see. Rock and Sock won the World Tag Team titles. They would continue to teaming together. Right. Oh, yeah. Rock threw the book in the trash. Oh, yeah. Hardcore Crash beat The Rock? That's crazy. Why'd they have to reaffirm that Foley and Snow were good friends? Who cares? And faced the New Age Outlaws. All right. And they reunited late 1999. That's pretty awesome. Pink slip on a pole match. God, remember the on a pole matches? Foley then retired, but then they came back at WrestleMania 20. Rock reunion. Rock to rock bottom, Mick Foley and leave. Why? All right, at least it ended well. All right. Back to this. Man, where do I rank them? Ooh, it's always a tough choice. I'm doing a personal. I'm making a personal decision because APA and frickin' Brothers of Destruction are up there. I gotta include these two. Gotta include Rock and Sock. I'm sorry, and I'm covering Jeff Hardy, and I know that's a cardinal sin, but maybe it's a new brand of makeup for him. Maybe it'll work out. All right, let's find a new image or a new tag team. I'm sorry. Who in the Rudy Poo are you? It's me, Rock! All right, next. Sorry. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Da-da-da-da. All right, next tag team. Here we go. Viva la raza! Oh, man. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. The Guerreros, dude, classic. Love their vignettes, like I do often with great tag team promos. Los Guerreros. Just I have to look at their history. Wrestled in WCW. 2-time tag team champions on SmackDown. Chavo got the upset over. Oh, Chavo kissed Eddie and began to display insane behavior. What the hell? Via his nephew Chavo in a match that forced him to become his slave. What the hell? That's so weird. Upset over Eddie. Hair versus hair. Chavo would shave his own head. That's hilarious. Eddie shaved Chavo from beating. Oh, not shaved, saved. And from beatings by Stevie Ray. But he won his release. What a weird angle for them in WCW. And they both split up. They jumped up SmackDown. And then Los Guerreros, right. First ever WWE Tag Team Champions. Then lost to Kurt Angle and Chris, of course. And then won a triple threat for the titles. What the heck is this image? That looks like freaking Mick Foley. Hey, look who we have. It's my new tag team partner. No chill.
Hey, yo, brother, thank you for having this stream, brother. Bro, that I love your kid. I'm watching all the Rey Mysterio's matches, and he had a lot of matches with a lot of the other little guys. And in Boston, when I was growing up in Boston, kid, I was on the streets, and they called me White Mike Tyson. And there was this kid that I went to in primary Catholic school, and he reminded me of Rey Mysterio, the way that he would jump off of the ceiling. He would climb up on the ceiling tile, and he would do Rey Mysterio's move from the ceiling tile. And he looked like Rey Mysterio. I think his name was Jeff.
Yeah, I remember Jeff. But you know who I also remember, dude? I remember the Brooklyn Brawler. The good old Brooklyn Brawler.
Bro, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. They don't make jobbers like they do anymore, because the Brooklyn Brawler would always be one of the most reliable, show openers that you could see. And, he would jerk the curtain, they say, but he was always reliable, bro. Nobody ever got hurt walking a match with him, bro. He was always reliable to take the 1, 2, 3, bro. And I'll never
careful
forget.
saying bro so many times. You might end up like Vince Russo.
Bro, let me tell you something, bro. Jim Cornette is one of the worst fucking people I've ever met in my life. He talks so bad about me. I got this nasty voicemail from Jim. Now Vince Russo, my one goal in life is to live long enough to piss on Vince Russo's grave.
I'm gonna gouge both your eyes out, you son of a bitch, and tell me where your address is. I'll come at you, you weaselly little fuck. And let me tell you, bro, we were changing the industry, bro. Wrestling was real. Wrestling was real life. It was entertainment.
Do a charity boxing match or something of the sort, Jim Cornette, bro, let me know, because I am down for something like that. But you're attacking my family, bro. You're obsessed.
Right there.
You're insane, bro. Mm-hmm. And you need to back off, because right now I'm trying to be with Hank the Tank, ranking the greatest tag teams of all time.
I'm trying to do an interview here, bro, but they can't help it. They can't help but question me about Jim Cornette. They can't.
They don't really get it, bro. They weren't there to see some of the greatest tag teams of all time. I've seen all I made the Attitude Era.
Like
I've been
Stacy
responsible for
Kibler
some
and
of the greatest
Mickey
tag teams.
James in the fucking Mud Show, bro.
Bro, what I really wanted to do was put Mickey James's dead grandpa on a pole.
I wanted
and
to
have
put
David
Arquette
Arquette team up with the Goonies to take him down from the pole, and then they'd all put on mariachi hats, bro, because this is about entertainment, bro.
Dude, I was going to get myself and David Arquette together as a tag team, bro. We were going to challenge them for the tag titles because people, they did not see it coming, bro. That was a swerve.
Shit. I'm a horse sketchman. Want to bring the guinea cunts to town.
Oh, yeah, pal. But first, Yellow Potato Farmer, if you want to get into the WWF, you have to do a deal for me, pal.
What? I'm going to say what?
Is that Capitan Refuco right there?
No, 316 just said, I'll just kick your ass. Because I proved, son, without a shadow of a doubt, Hank ain't got what it takes anymore. Get him out of the WWF, get him out of the tag teams, because I proved it, son. And no chill MMA, you little dumb bitch. You may be the Nepo baby of your daddy, but you want a beer? You want a margarita? What? You want a shot of vodka? What? You want a White Mary? What? Oh, Stunner! Stunner to no chill! Entertain. I see buzzers in the air. I see him. Now that we're ranking these greatest tag teams of all time. You want to talk about tag team, or do you want to talk about family? Have you put in my family yet? The White family. What's up, brothers? My tag team partner is such a legend, you can't help but notice him. Wow! Ooh, yeah, because he is my tag team partner. If you on John Cena, yeah, that's right, Big Daddy. Maniacs is the top tag team of all time. When the rubber hits the road, the cream rises to the top. You have to get wild. Somebody said something about WrestleMania. You're gonna pay for the whole scene. Oh yeah, Hinkamania is running wild. Yeah, who's the best tag team that's ever been made? I don't know. We're gonna snap into a Slim Jim and find out who is the S-ranked tag team and who is all the way at F tier. You're no chilling and you're hot dogging, yeah. All right, let's get into it. So, who the hell team am I talking about? We were talking about the Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo, who had a solid run in WCW, sort of getting their characters, setting the ball in motion with their characters, and then in the WWF, of course, which has the best production and the best vignettes.
This is such a tough one because although this is one of those teams where they both stemmed more interesting singles career.
It's true.
Than actually, from being a tag team. Like there's very little to work with them as a tag team.
Yeah.
But a lot of their stories were still intertwined with each other. Shout out Kerwin White, if you remember that.
I think I remember that. Oh yeah, the White is right man.
But I wouldn't have them very high. I mean, I'm not gonna have them.
I wouldn't either. Because the thing is,
really like a huge team.
They were good for a little while. Booker T and Goldust, they had segments that were like, I'm always rewatching those. I'm always going back and looking like at the best of those. Like you could watch all the vignettes for Los Guerreros and then you don't really watch them again.
Bro, you know what? I could see you being like the next Goldust.
Really? Yes, my friend.
You just need a Booker T.
That's true. I need a I got you. I got you right from the Congo, man.
All right, crossover is available too.
Crossover. Oh yeah, that's crossover is there. As you can see, I discussed contractual negotiations with Inda Granite, dude. So, but of course, I got my tag team partner Idaho Fight Fan.
Let's go.
No better team in the business, baby. But
hey, you rank, yeah. I mean, you have a list of certain tag teams you're ranking.
It changes because I allow suggestions from the chat, so I'm getting new ideas every stream.
You rank the oddities yet?
I have not ranked the oddities
people
yet.
Don't like these oddities.
Yeah, and then they came out with the Cartman doll, and then
It was a Cartman doll. You know who that fucking was with the Cartman doll?
it was Earthquake. It was John
It was
Tenna, right?
It was Earthquake.
Which is such a shame, dude. Did you watch that? Did you watch the Dark Side of the Ring episode on John Tenna?
No.
Dude, that was the saddest shit ever.
Oh.
Because he went from John Tenna with the oddities to just working on the independents. Had to be a truck driver, and dude, he was like had a horrible diet. Eventually, just had heart disease from being a trucker, and he just died on the street.
Reminds me of Kamala.
Yeah, rough days, and honestly, very not deserving at all for John Tenna, because that dude had a shoot match with that Japanese dude in the early 90s, I think. Whooped his fucking ass, dude. John Tenna is a legend.
Oh yeah, he fought. So did Bam Bam Bigelow. He fought MMA as well.
Yeah, and because he was pretty good in Japan, and then I think in WCW they didn't like want to pay money for
the UWF, which was a Japanese company in the 90s. Inokiism was pretty much gone as was kind of ousted from power, and that's when you saw promotions like Pro Wrestling Noah, and
which is fantastic.
And all of these like really like hard hitting kind of pure Risu
strong style.
It's pure Risu, but mixed with like just like really like pure Risu didn't used to have all these crazy like head drops and brain like it was just like hyper realism, pure Risu, violent stuff. Yeah. So UWF decided we're gonna take that a step further, and we're just gonna have our wrestlers have actual fights.
Yeah.
Because obviously pancreatism is tied to Japan. So guys like Minoru Suzuki, Katsuyori Shibata,
those tough guys,
and even Bam Bam Bigelow, and even Bart Gunn all competed in MMA.
I'm not surprised because Bart Gunn ended up competing in boxing after that. In a beautiful Vince Russo idea, Vinny Rue idea,
bro. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the 8 toughest guys in the locker room, bro. All right,
and we're gonna
have him in boxing matches, but we're gonna change the rules every single match, bro. And they're gonna be shoots, bro. No work over here.
Listen, this isn't my fault that it was a disaster, bro. This whole thing started because of JBL. Okay, bro. He was bragging. So I had to take him down a peg, bro.
JVD is responsible for the brawl for all, bro.
JVD, bro. Dude, I wanted him to win the whole thing, bro. I thought he was the toughest dude. I wanted him to prove it.
I brought in Dr. Death Hank Williams, bro. And he was supposed to win, bro, but the judges gave it to JVD. So then we had to match him up against the real boxer like Butterbean.
Dude, I was supposed to have China in there, bro, but then the Triple H nonsense happened. And I don't know.
No, China was not supposed to be in the brawl for all.
I know. It's just all
no, you know what's so crazy?
I was gonna have in tournaments.
I swear to God, I thought you were serious because of how crazy he is. I was like, what's he really gonna have China in the brawl for all?
Can you imagine China being the one to face Butterbean?
He do that shit.
Yeah, that would have been a rated R instead of TV 14. But anyway, back to the Guerreros.
C tier.
Yeah, I think I would probably place Los Guerreros in C tier.
But speaking of rated R, do you have Team Rated RKO in there yet?
I don't have them in there yet, but they're on the list. You just made the list.
It's a good one to put on the list. Oh, no. That's a great one to put in too. The best.
Jared KO. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's another one, dude. Endless amount of tag teams. But yeah, Los Guerreros, I'm putting them in C tier. I just felt like Eddie Guerrero did his best work outside of the tag team. Chavo Guerrero had the most success outside the tag team. They were better apart than they were together.
Yeah,
except when Eddie died in Chavo's arms, and that was
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah, it's a smooth transition right there. But let's get to our next tag team, shall we?
I wonder who it could be.
But do you recognize some of the teams I have on the list already?
It's very small, but I see the Alkalites. I see
APA.
The Rock and Sock collection.
Yes.
Well, who's that? I see the Hardys, the Brothers of Destruction. Is that the Fabulous Freebirds up there?
Yes, that is the Fabulous Freebirds.
I see Bubba and Devon.
But
who's on the left? I don't. Is that the Wild Samoans? That
Yes, the Wild Samoans are there. You're right. Good work from No Chill MMA.
dude,
And,
I remember my favorite is just like the Bubba. It wasn't even the of course, I love the tag team of the Dudley Boys, but the faction was just so fucking. It was so funny.
Yeah, my name is. Screw it. Oh,
I wish they kept Spike around more.
Yeah, I wish so too. I want to see more tosses of Spike into the crowd. Good times. But you can't have a tier list of the world's greatest tag teams without having the world's greatest tag team.
Shelton
Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Or should I say Charlie Ass, based on how his career was after the team split up.
Well, you know what's crazy? Both of them ended up having pretty solid runs in Japan. Shelton in like 2012, New Japan Wrestling was really cool.
That's true. Shelton's still wrestling, if you can believe it.
Shelton's always been a tag team guy, which kind of sucks because he was just one of those guys where it's like he had everything except it. He just didn't have it. But
he didn't have
everything
charisma.
Else. No, maybe he didn't have charisma. I don't really know if you could give him a great storyline. I mean,
I honestly think even if you gave him the mic skills of Maven, he would have gotten more over.
Yeah, this was a great predecessor to the greatest wrestling gimmick of all time, which was Shelton Benjamin and his mama.
Yes,
it's a great predecessor.
And the oxygen tank.
That was fantastic.
Destroy him, Shelton!
Of all time, Team Angle. You know, I mean, they kind of remind me of like a prototype for the Creed brothers.
They are. I think Creed brothers based a lot of their aesthetic look on these guys. To be honest,
I like the whole gimmick of having like, oh yeah, we're legit wrestlers. But they were kind of like a lackey team with their lead with the faction of Team Angle. I mean, they were fantastic wrestlers. Both of them were great in the ring.
And unlike Legacy, they actually got to win a tag team championship.
Yeah, they got to win a tag team championship. But like, it just sucks because they're not the most like. Okay, are they technically very, very amazing? Yes. Were they ever super over? No. I think they were 3 Minute Warning got more over than the world's greatest tag team, and they were not good wrestlers.
Yeah, thank God they did split because we got some of the greatest spots in wrestling history thanks to Shelton Benjamin. And I'm going to call it. I think that Shelton Benjamin's going to be the last one standing of the OVW class of 2002.
Oh,
I think he is. I think on the regional scene in TNA, those other spots, John Cena's ending his year. Randy Orton, eventually he might end up getting like another back injury that puts him out.
He can't wrestle forever, but Randy's still really good though, honestly.
Oh, are you like best in the business?
Randy's got another solid like 3 or 4 years in him, honestly.
Yeah, but I think this is a pretty easy ranking to make. Just because they didn't last long, and honestly, I'd put them below the Guerreros. Just because they didn't have the mic work. They didn't have the
super technical, but not as technical as the Guerreros. Like just because you could do a lot of one of the hardest things for me to realize with wrestling is just because you could put on a lot of crazy moves doesn't mean you know how to work a match. Sometimes when you watch the way I'm into MMA now, where I know every single regional fighter, and that's how I was into wrestling. I remember I was watching the Tournament of Los Angeles in 2015, 16, and it was just like a complete spot fest. It was spot after spot after spot.
That's why I don't like the Young Bucks very much.
My opinion. When we get to them. Or have you ranked them already?
I have ranked them already. I put them in B tier. But to be fair, I put them with the Rockers. So they're sort of in that same kind of lineage.
Yeah.
Also, I think I left it up to choice as well. And that's what the people
For me, just like watching people who just do a bunch of flippy shit and just do spot after spot after spot is draining. It's draining.
Oh, no doubt. Especially if you have it in like your first 3 or 4 matches. And then you got the rest of the card, and you're like, I've seen.
And then I watched Roddy Piper versus Greg Valentine later that same day in a dog collar match. And in that, and they weren't. I don't think their feet left the fucking ground the entire time.
Not once.
But they had a fantastic story, and I think when you could blend aspects of that together, that's when they're absolutely fantastic. And
you know what's a really good hardcore match I'd actually recommend you watching?
Yeah.
Have you seen Cactus Jack versus Vader in that Texas death match?
I've seen a lot of Cactus Jack's hardcore run. I remember my favorite one was Jun Kasai and Cactus Jack had an insane fight as well. I don't even like to call them Matt. Like when you get to Mick Foley level at the end, you get to some of these guys. These guys are having fights. They're not even having wrestling matches.
Exactly.
They're not planning out intricate ways to tell a story. They're saying, "Hey, I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna try to hurt you with it." And the other guy's going, "Well, I'm gonna do that too."
Yeah, for sure. His match with Sting, I think it was like Beach Blast. That was really good as well.
Yeah.
Like
Mick Foley, like he could occasionally tell us, okay, like for instance, one of my favorite matches ever. It wasn't Cactus Jack. It was this other wrestler. I don't know if he has any relation, but his name was Mankind, and his match with Shawn Michaels. Absolutely blew my mind. Like he was, although he was a spotty wrestler, he was capable of telling a fantastic story.
No doubt about it. You know, he was one of Kane's first opponent. He was Kane's first opponent on pay-per-view as Dude Love, I think.
That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
Oh, we got here.
Hey, baby.
Is that Shelton Benjamin's mama?
No, baby. This Tyrone mama. I'm trying to see if someone want to knock my son the fuck out.
I'm moving in and out of love with you. No Freud.
I need a cute white boy to come beat my son's ass, because that just turns me on.
Well, unfortunately for you, one of us is from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the other of us is in the community. You know, I got my squad with me, so I'm sorry. You're mistaken.
Anyway, baby, somebody come beat my son's ass.
Well, I know this nice white kid named Sniff, who is currently available. He's just alone with his dogs. You know, he could use some company. So I think he'd make a great fit match for your son.
How do you always know it's me? No one ever knows it's me except you.
You got the raspiness in your voice, and it's that laid back kind of character, and I can always tell, man. And
Bro,
plus, I'm the voice
no
guy.
way.
I know
Is this Sniff, bro? Dude, it's nice to meet you on stream, brother. It's nice to finally have you on. I know that you're a real savage like me, bro. It's nice to have you on here. You know, Hank is a great kid. I know you're an older dude like me. Hank is a great kid, bro. You know, I love doing these shows. I love doing shows with him, bro. He's a great kid. And you know, we're just like older savages, bro. We got to teach these kids how to operate in the new world, you know, because they teach us things too. And you know, I remember, bro, when I was in Boston, I met this kid named Hank, and he was different, bro. He was different than this Hank. I'm not saying you're not a savage, bro. You were definitely a savage, but this Hank dude, he was a bad guy.
He was solving math equations on the blackboard at the local school. Bro. He was a janitor.
And bro, so when I heard about Hank coming on, bro, I wasn't too sure about him, but I got to know this kid, bro. This kid's fucking amazing. You know, I'm not talking in any sort of way, but I love this kid more than my son, bro. You know, but my son's beautiful. You know, I have a beautiful life. But let me tell you something, dude. You know, the Sniff, bro, it's nice to meet you, bro. I actually am taking these mushroom bars now. I know that you are taking these mushroom bars now too, bro. And they're very good. And, you know, sometimes I just take them and I start to lose, you know, what I'm talking about, bro.
Makes me wonder, am I looking at Mama Woodley or am I on mushrooms right now?
Let's hear a bar from you in the granite.
Yeah, you got your hardcore rap album coming out in a week. Bro.
Give me a beat. Whiteboard killer. I'm more vanilla. Beat you up like it's a thriller in Manila. Muhammad Ali, the best it could be. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I see something, you know I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna smack it. I'm in the granny.
Yeah.
Wow, incredible work from Bobby Nizzo. Hardcore rap album from Boston. It's gonna be a hit.
Bro,
and
and that's just a fucking freestyle, bro. If you could see what I could do, because bro, freestyle isn't even my strong point, kid. When I really get the pen and the paper and I start writing stuff down, you know I could create lyrical miracles one after another, bro. And you know that they always come out fantastic, dude. And you know, Sniff, I heard that you used to be a rapper too, bro. And if you want to start rapping with me somewhere, you know, you could come in my bed, come in my group, bro, and we could write something together, bro, and see and see if we can make
Hank.
musical magic.
Oh, Woodley.
And the granted, we could take the streets back from these melanated invaders. What do you think about
Bro,
that?
I love
Fucking
everybody
degenerate.
regardless of the skin color, bro.
Though when I was in Boston, I was
Bro,
fucking
because
dealing with them all the
let me
time.
tell you something, bro. I had friends like that, and they were ignorant in a way, bro. Because let me tell you something, bro.
Not understanding anything.
You know, and kid, when I say kid, I don't mean to demean you. That just you're from Boston, you call everybody kid. Let me tell you something, kid. When you meet all different people of walks in life, you understand that love and heart has no color, bro. And if my kid was
It's right.
dying and they gave me 2 pints of blood, I don't know which one is the white blood and which one's the black blood, bro. My kid just needs the blood, bro. Everybody is equal.
Everybody
in their own
donate
way,
blood
bro.
to my son.
And I love everybody, bro. And I don't see color and I don't see race, bro. Because when you really growing up in a diverse community like me, bro, you learn from all walks of life. I've met all sorts of people. I met Jewish people. I've met Irish people. I met, you know, I'm Italian and I'm Irish. Bobby Nizzo. I met black people. I met Hispanic people. Bro, I've met all sorts of people from all sorts of stuff. I've met people that were from Azerbaijan. I met people that were from
Asbury Park, bro.
There were all sorts of different people around me, bro. But let me tell you something. I'm not a fan of Algerians, bro. But that's a tale for a different story. I'm gonna
In
go
the granite,
take
only
another
sees colors
bite
when
of
he's on
my mushroom
psychedelic.
ball, bro. It's 2,100,000 milligrams, bro. And I've been feeling good since last Friday, bro.
Hey, Sniff. Yo,
Yeah.
Sniff, what's your favorite tag team among the lineup that we've had so far?
Bro, favorite tag team. You know, I like the Steiner brothers.
Class, dude, I wanted them in S tier. I begged the chat to put them in S tier. The fucking casuals put them in A tier.
Yeah, I like the Steiner brothers, but I really liked when Big Papa Pump had his own thing. But even when he teamed up with what's the one guy's name?
The
Buff
big daddy,
Bagwell.
fatty booty daddy. Oh, you mean our Bad Blood? Was it Kevin Nash?
No, when he teamed up with Buff Bagwell, they didn't do it for a long
Oh yeah,
time.
Marcus Bagwell.
Yeah.
For sure, that was the perfect combination right there. And who can forget when he had Scotty, freaking the Canadian Destroyer guy, and he was like, "Oh my God, look who we have here! It's the Leprechaun. Sean Moody is here as well. Holy crap, the gang's all here." But what was I gonna say? Oh, when he was with he had Petey Williams, and he was like, "Let me tell you what usually when you're on one-on-one with a guy, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic
you got a 75% chance. And then you got a 63 and third chance.
And you add my 55% chance with your 33% and third percent chance with my 66 and 2/3% chance. I got about a 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. Senior Joe. The numbers don't lie. And they spell what was it? Oh, I forget. They spell what did they spell?
All I know is I just watched that pay-per-view, but I forgot what it was. But hey, next Wednesday, wrestling fans, I'll be there at Dynamite. So be watching.
That's right, for sure. Sean Moody's a big fan of wrestling in general. He hangs out at all the tablings with all the fellers.
Yeah, I wish.
Oh no! Now I remember. He spells disaster for you at Sacrifice. Let's go, Petey. Hey, you want to sleep with a big man like me, isn't that right, baby? Ric Flair is nothing but a geriatric old freak who politicked his way through WCW. He doesn't have the muscles that Big Papa Pump does. He doesn't have the roids that I do. Ric Flair, I'm going to straighten those teeth and put that lazy eye back to work. Oh,
Yeah, he fucking hated Flair more than anybody. He hated Hogan too.
Which is
Hey.
insane. Well, he probably hates Hogan the most.
Hey,
I will
Mr.
say
Smith.
that Flair got him fired from his job. So
Hey, Mr. Smith.
Yo, what's up, Sean Moody?
Hey, I'm gonna go see Mick Foley May 1st.
woo! My favorite
Damn,
wrestler
he's
of all
still
time.
alive? I thought he died.
Hell
Fucking-
no.
Dude, all it takes is one visit to DDP Yoga, and it can work wonders, man.
Yeah, didn't he fix up Butterbean too? I thought Butterbean was all fucked
I
up.
think he
didn't
did. He fixed up
he
Lex
had
Luger.
Butterbean.
Allowed Lex Luger to stand during when Cody came to see him.
Oh yeah, Lex Luthor was like in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and it was just from pumping weights. And I'm honestly shocked that Big Papa Pump didn't deal with it either.
Yeah, he's still in good shape. I mean, for his age and all, he
Yeah.
was on steroids, but
But he's always been at the gym.
yeah.
But yes, Mr. Mick Foley's on like a comedy tour or some shit. He's got 25 shows in the United States. And it's a week before my birthday, so fuck it, why not?
How old are you gonna be, Sean?
I'll be not say this is May 1st, but my birthday's May 9th. I'll be 38, dude. Hey, fucking Hank.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember the wrestler Prince Iaukea from WCW?
Oh yeah, I do remember Prince IK.
Hey, that's Sniff.
Dude had so many freaking scars on his forehead.
Hey, that's Sniff though. When he turned his name to the Prince.
Oh, so there's
Is
the
that that's not the guy that was the because there were two Iron Sheiks. Remember the one Sheik that used to cut everybody?
that was the Sheik, right?
think
Or it
he
was
just
also
called the Iron Sheik.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh no, Abdullah the Butcher. You know, he wrestled that one guy called
Hannibal.
YouTube channel. Yeah,
Hannibal?
he gave him fucking hepatitis or some shit.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Who do we have here? Finally, we got
look
the
at
interview. DJ Aiken.
Hello.
Hello, DJ Aiden. What are you doing up so early in the morning over there in Australia, buddy?
I like your voice.
Yeah, I bet you do, fruitcake.
I want you to touch me.
Wow.
What did you just say? You said you want me to touch you. You're trying to solicit it to fucking prostitution.
touch you
This is
where?
Liam
DJ?
Payne, DJ.
Well, I want you to touch me.
We don't want to touch you, dude, because that's not right, bro.
Mama Woodley, now's your chance.
Well,
Mama Woodley, what?
I want you to I want you to touch me when it makes me happy.
Make
How about
a full video first, and then we can consider options.
How about you put peanut butter on your balls, buddy, and the dog will take care of you.
No.
Yeah, I think Izzy could mistake you for a dog, and I could put you up for adoption.
Okay. Hank. Can you say happy birthday, DJ Aiden?
DJ's birthday.
This is Aiden Stream. This is Aiden Stream. Aiden Stream. Aiden Stream. Aiden Stream. Aiden Stream.
Fuck you and your birthday.
I'm doing some coke on Virginia Beach. Every day I wash my skin with bleach.
For a week.
Yeah, he's gonna bleach you up, DJ, and make you more pale than you already are.
You know Liam Payne killed himself, right?
I want to get Liam Payne to say happy birthday to me.
Liam Payne's dead, dude. Jesus Christ. Get over it.
Happy unbirthday, DJ Aiden.
No.
Go off to Wonderland with Mad Hatter Rabbit.
How about Happy Death Day for Liam Payne?
Yeah, happy Death Day to
That's
Liam
what-
Payne.
Hell
That
yeah.
hot tub,
No,
you
don't
got
do
your hot
that.
tub.
Don't
Rest
do
in,
that.
rest in peace, Liam Payne. All I know is you know Rogaine.
Can the man who's talking come touch me?
Nobody talk. Sorry, I don't want to pull a Mailson here.
Do you want to see my feet?
No. Not unless you're Alexa Grasso. Yeah, scare him. Ooh.
Hey, look at
Off
Sean
you
Moody
go.
looking like fucking what's his name? Tennis racket man.
I'm the boogeyman. I'm coming to get you.
Jim
I was,
Cornette.
no, I'm not getting the stream put down.
I'm Harvey Whippleman.
So Izzy won't take him. Anyway, yeah, Mama Woodley, would you like to go over the next tag team with me? Me and Sean
What's the
Moody.
next tag team, baby?
All right. Thank you. Make sure to bring your
Can I mention my favorite tag team, baby?
Oh yeah, of course.
Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben.
Wow. Well, with great power comes great responsibility, Mama Woodley.
I know that's right.
Where'd you learn that from?
What you mean? I go grocery shopping, baby. I got to get me some Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima.
You gotta make sure they're on sale, right?
So you gotta get your rice and your motherfucking syrup, huh, buddy?
You know that's right.
We're making waffles. And you know what Queen Latifah said? UNITY. UNITY. That's a unit.
I don't know nothing about no Queen Latifah. I'm more of an Aretha Franklin type of girl.
But rest in peace. Rest in peace. But you probably are treating it like DJ Aiden, and she didn't die. She's somewhere in Argentina.
Oh, she up in heaven. She up in the upper room with the Lord.
She is with the Lord. She's with Billie Holiday too. Rest in peace to those.
My son was in the upper room when Jake Paul knocked his ass out. He was up there for a minute, but he came back down.
That's true. And do you feel like your son should go to heaven, hell, or limbo?
Baby, my son can go wherever he wants. He just gonna get his ass whooped. That's all I know. But hey, it paid the bills.
Getting his ass whooped in heaven. Here to commentate on the status of Tyron Woodley is No Chill MMA.
Hey, yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Sean?
Wow, he's here. Man, that was a crazy cameo from DJ Aiden, wasn't it? No Chill. He's just a virus. He spreads everywhere.
Oh, what? You're a DJ Aiden on?
Sure.
Yeah, had him
I
on for a
guess.
little bit, and then he disappeared, man. I didn't know where you were. It's like freaking Peter Parker. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I got to leave the party. Aunt May needs her
Bro,
medication.
you think I'm DJ Aiden?
No, you're not DJ Aiden.
Dude, I'm
But
not fucking DJ Aiden. He
No.
shows his face sometimes. Like I'm not DJ Aiden, dude.
Yeah, DJ Aiden doesn't show his
You
feet.
wanna see my toes?
Yo, Sean Moody, what's up, bro? How you doing?
You wanna see my toes?
What the fuck?
Don't forget to bring a towel. I'm so high right now. I have no
Sean,
idea.
why are you asking me that as a 37-year-old man? Why are you asking me that, brother?
I don't know, cause I'm like DJ Aiden. I'm a weirdo.
Are you streaming right now from the shower like your role model?
Who we got up next?
What the
Up
fuck?
next we
Is
have
that Team London?
Yes, we have London and Brian Kendrick, two-time tag team champions, and in their second reign, they would have the longest tag team title reign in wrestling history before the New Day would take over that spot.
You remember when they made Paul London a puppet and then they made his sister?
Oh yeah, they did. They had him in a bunch of little jobber roles and extra scenes.
He was a freak. He was gonna fuck his own sister.
Wow. Can you imagine that Brian Kendrick ended up having the most success post tag team title run?
You know, Brian Kendrick technically was WWE champion.
He was?
Technically, they had this elimination match where whoever got pinned, was the champion at the time, but they didn't count it as the belt's lineage. Kendrick has technically had that WWE title.
Yeah, but he got the cruiserweight title after that. He beat T.J. Perkins, I believe.
He was good on 205 Live too. He was he was the only good storyline on 205 Live with Enzo Amore.
Yeah. Oh God. And
Back
man,
when
they
Enzo was
should
working
never
face.
broke Enzo Amore and Big Cass up ever.
Nope.
Dumbest decision in tag team booking history, in my opinion.
This right here, this is Big Cass, and he's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, we got a guy in the room. How you doing?
You also can't teach me how to beat these allegations I'm having in court right now.
Hey, he beat the allegations.
I beat those
made a
allegations
song about
like
it.
I beat her, but the
He made a
point
song
is,
about it.
then we have London and Kendrick.
Dang, Sean.
Oh,
I
what
hope my
about,
hair-
case
my hair
because
don't end up
they
like
didn't
that.
last too long. But Oh,
What about Chris Benoit and his shotgun? That was a good tag team.
Yeah, and I think just for them making history alone. Oh God, he's staring into my soul.
They always cleared the house when they.
I think I'm getting a sunburn from the reflection, Sean. Oh God,
Sean, you look like Andrew Buchanan, Sean. You look like Andrew B. You look like Andrew B. Yo, let me see that hairline.
You look like
not a filter.
I want to compare my hairline to yours.
You look like Bubba Ray Dudley if you never met Devon.
Damn, I got some black looking hair. God damn.
But my opinion is that I think Kendrick and London had a very important title reign, like one that was just referenced over and over again in wrestling, out in WWE and outside of WWE. I think they had pretty decent matches, especially for the 2000s.
Yeah,
they were having good matches when you were having fucking Deuce and Domino winning tag team titles.
Shout out Deuce and Domino. And who is that chick with him? She was hot as fuck. I think her name was Cherry.
I think her name was Cherry. But I actually like the idea of Deuce and Domino as like the 50s greasers, you know, throwback era.
Deuce and Domino. That was Jimmy Snuka's son, was Domino.
Huh. I didn't know that. But I think these two had a history making title run. One where they were referenced when honestly they had no right to be in the 2010s. Honestly, I think they're deserving of a B tier for their history making.
Fuck no, they sucked.
Oh, okay.
You think they're as good as Booker and Goldust? Yeah, you ever met a human being alive? By the way, Sean, I don't know if it's methamphetamines or rabbit shit that you got on your television, but what is that, dude? It's like little pebbles or something.
It's an episode of Dr. Phil.
You're snorting up rabbit shit. Now on the bottom right of your TV stand.
Wow,
he's taking a break.
Looks like a scene from Audition. Or
yo, Sean Moody, give us a house story.
Give us a rice gum experience.
What do you know about Memphis rap?
I'm gonna go see Marty Jannetty.
Hey, dude, I fucking know Juicy J and Crunchy Black.
All right, let's see. What is our next tag team?
How about the One-Winged Angels? The Golden Lovers.
The Golden Lovers. I think I mentioned them already.
What about all the Expresses? You had the Rock and Roll Express, the
Yes.
Midnight Express, the Oriental Express.
I haven't done them yet. I haven't done the Orient Express.
You do the Cold Toll Express?
I didn't know that team existed until a couple seconds ago.
You do the Cold Toll Express. It was Lashley and Shaq Gaspard.
Oh God! Wow. Okay, and they didn't get the chance to go that far in their careers. I wonder why. But then we had Team Hell No that I have on my thumbnail.
No.
Such a great odd couple.
No.
I'm the tag team champions. I'm the tag team champions.
I like these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I love Team Hell No. They're the MVP though of this team is Dr. Shelby, the man who brought them together and got them gold. I
feel like they're the next generation's Booker T and Goldust.
I think so too, and honestly, in some ways, I think they're better because I don't know that their introduction package was just fantastic, and then when they did their freaking rap video together. That was amazing. They also had a big moment where not only did they win the tag team titles, but they beat the Shield in their first televised match, I believe, with Randy Orton. They also had that great match with Ryback against the Shield. Legendary match. I think like they accomplished a little bit more than Booker T.
You remember that segment where they were at the
what
the
I remember
diner,
Booker T saying,
and they were freaking out.
What is it?
We coming for you, nigga.
No, yeah.
And
We coming for the gold,
lady,
sucker.
That old lady was like, "I'll have what they're having."
Yes. I'll have exactly what they're having. You know what movie that's referencing, right?
Nah.
That was an old film called When Harry Met Sally from like 1989.
You know, I was raised in a cult, right? We weren't allowed to watch movies or anything like that. I've talked about that on my channel. You didn't know about that?
I think I missed the streams where you did mention that.
I have no
You were raised
recollection.
in a what?
In a cult.
Damn. Well, if you start your acting career, you might end up like Joaquin Phoenix.
Nah, more like who's that one? Like Tom Hanks. It was called the Judeo-Masonic Supremacy Group
Wow.
for troubled youth.
Huh. I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're able to get through it and go on to where you are. And of course, you're in the same room that Big Red has often featured himself in on his live streams with the big grand piano.
Well, we all got all that MMA, like me, Big Red, Isha, and Hockey from Home. She's in the events. We all got like a hype house for MMA YouTube. We all bought this hype house, and we all do content from here.
Our house in the middle of the street. So yeah, that is referencing a scene, but it just goes to show how great they were that they could do parodies.
They gotta be B tier at least.
Do it perfect. I think they're definitely B tier at the very least.
Yeah.
I think they're in the same league as Booker T and Goldust. They didn't last too long. They did have their reunion. I think it was like 2019 when Daniel Bryan was able to compete again. But oh man, did they win the SmackDown tag team titles?
Ooh, their reunion wasn't that good.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. Honestly, they should have put Daniel Bryan right back into the title picture, in my opinion. Have the feud with The Miz, great. I will see you later, Sniff. They had their feud with The Miz, and then it was just keep wrestling The Miz. And then it was, oh man, he's losing these matches all of a sudden. Now, they did have his great environmentalist gimmick. That was awesome. With Rowan and the freaking custom belt that he made. And then Kofi Mania, of course, happened after that. He ended up having a good run. But let me check if Team Hell No won the SmackDown tag titles. Because
I think they did, but it don't matter if they did. Just because you hold the belt doesn't mean you were the top team.
Yeah. Well, I just have to consider it because, like, I have to consider the amount of tag team titles that a team wins. Because you could be like, oh, they're a great tag team, but like they didn't win gold. They don't have this legacy. Like for some teams that matters less. For some it matters more. For this one, I think it matters less because they're more of like a character team. But I can't put them in A tier. I don't think I can put them in A tier.
No, you can't. No way.
Because it's tough because they did have good matches, but they're no Briscoe brothers. Like
they had good
I can't put them right there with the Briscoe brothers.
They didn't have any classics.
They did have the TLC match with Ryback. That was a pretty good one. But yeah, I'm put it.
El Torito had a WLC match with Hornswoggle, and that was pretty good too.
That's true. And you know, it is an honor to put them in the same place that the
anybody could have one good match. John Cena and Khali had some good matches.
That's true. It doesn't mean they're the best tag team. Good point.
I wish I'd like having a D tier wouldn't be right because I don't feel like any of these tag teams are bad.
Exactly. That's why I don't have a D tier.
I feel like D tier is going to get clogged the fuck up.
Yeah, there have been people who have said like F to what tag team was it? I think they said F to the New Day. They said F to Eminem.
F to the New Day.
The Wild Samoans, they considered putting them in F, and you can't put them in F. They've just had two stars.
The New Day are one of the greatest tag teams of all. If not,
it's true. I was considering putting them in A tier.
They should be in S tier. They're like top 5 greatest of all time.
Yeah, and I do hope that their heel run goes somewhere because I hate it when they waste really good heat. Like with Elias, dude. Every time he came out, people went absolutely nuts.
Bro, they do that all the time. Even Adam Rose, Tyler Breeze was on fire for a minute. You know who the biggest one that hurts me the most? Because that's who I was a fan of growing up as a kid.
Who?
Woo, woo, woo. You know, bro. Oh, I love Zack Ryder. He was my favorite wrestler as a kid for a long time.
He should have gone from U.S. title straight to world title, in my opinion.
They fucked it. Vince McMahon hated people who get over naturally. And they gave him a shitty,
buried
him
in
the worst angle possible with the wheelchair and shit.
Yeah,
dude, I'll never even, bro. She was my bro. Woo woo woo. That's all right because I still got my broskies. I don't need you because you were a hoskie. That's a classic.
Yeah, exactly. So many like the thing is. It feels like there's a lot of potential on the internet for creating superstars. Like
not even on the internet, bro, just on the mic. Roses are red, violets are blue. You broke my heart, but I still woo woo woo. That was awesome.
How do you feel about his run as Matt Cardona when he?
Highly overrated in my opinion.
I think it was overrated too. Although I will say that I think it's worth it for that great shot of him having the title with all the beer cans being thrown into the ring.
I don't think people realize how good of a worker Zack Ryder was either. Like, this dude wasn't just some stiff Eli Drake-ass motherfucker. He was throwing out 450 splashes every once in a while.
Even the Rough Rider finisher.
Cool
I've
finish.
never seen anyone even try something like that.
It's a really cool finish. Yeah, he's athletic. He's not small either. He's a relatively big guy.
I think they fucked him over in AEW. They're like, he's Cody Rhodes' tag team partner. Yippee!
I don't even know. Yeah, that was some stupid shit.
Mama Woodley wanted to tell you guys she went to prom. Beware. Well, now Coco Beware has two birds on his shoulders.
Was it the parrot that spiked the punch?
Yeah, it was. But where's Kamala to crash this whole thing? But let's get to our next big tag team. I'm probably going to take like 5 to 10 more minutes and then probably call it a night. But we got some more tag teams to go through. But yeah, dude, I wish Zack Ryder had the world. And you know what was my least favorite moment from WWE's treatment of Zack?
Who was it?
It was when they gave him the IC title for one day.
Oh, that ladder match gave me so much hope.
Yeah, it was
then
the
next night on Raw, The Miz broke me.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been fine with them taking it from him after a month.
That was like the peak of my love for wrestling. Was when Zack Ryder won the IC because I didn't think it was supposed to be Neville that won the belt. Neville was out. Ryder was like, "Hey, I'll do it." And he did all the spots so well, even though he's not a fucking cruiserweight. He did the spots so well. He was so over. He got the belt. Everybody in the crowd was going woo woo woo. Next night, you just have The Miz take it for him.
Just take all the heat away, and like we know that what would happen with The Miz. He'd go on his fantastic IC title run with the Talking Smack, and then the program with Dolph Ziggler.
Bro, but The Miz. Okay, here's the thing, bro. The Miz held the belt 15 fucking times. Literally held the belt. He's held the IC belt as many times as Cena's held the world belt.
Oh my God. Okay, interesting perspective from Sniff.
Yeah, she probably thought it was like some gravy for her Popeyes.
Yeah, but that was Miz's best IC title run. To be fair.
I think The Miz was the best when he was feuding with Daniel Bryan.
Was that 2010?
No, it was like no. It was.
Oh, you mean 2019 when he feuded with them? Yeah, I think his best moment was when he was when he did the angle with Maurice against John Cena and Nikki Bella. Those segments were fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Cena's good on the mic, man.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good on the mic. I mean, honestly, it's at the point after 2017. I think Cena stepped it up, and was like, you know what? I've been in this company too long. I just don't give a fuck. I'll say whatever I want.
One of the most underutilized two talents of all time.
Yeah, I think
been way better.
Yeah,
we don't raise the bar.
The bar. The team to destroy the New Day's record-breaking title run won a bunch of tag team titles. Won the SmackDown tag team titles. Won the Raw tag team titles. I can't honestly name.
Damn, the motherfucking nostalgia.
I've never seen them wrestle on pay-per-view that was bad was their match with the Hardys where he kicked Jeff's tooth out. But even that was solid.
No, they're one of the greatest. They have some of the most underlooked and underrated in-ring chemistry ever. I mean, these two. I mean,
their tag team was literally born from their great in-ring chemistry.
God damn, I would love to. It was the best of 7 series that spawned this. They had 7 fantastic matches. They ended up drawing, and the winner was supposed to get a title shot of his choosing, but because of the draw, they had to get the tag team title fight, and they won the tag team belts, and that was how the bar was born. They actually
had their team name from when they had a big brawl at a bar.
I mean, these two were, just peak in-ring performance. Prime Cesaro, Sheamus. It seems like this guy never leaves.
Starting to reach his best.
I gotta be honest. This is probably a little bit before Sheamus hit his in-ring prime. Injuries were the only thing holding Sheamus back.
This one tag team title run they went on is better than everything Cesaro's done in AEW.
This is like the catalyst for realizing just how, I mean, not for Cesaro, but this was the catalyst for, I think these matches with Cesaro were how Sheamus became a bit like a fantastic worker, because you have to be, maybe watching a little bit before me. Sheamus sucked ass when he started, man.
Yeah,
he sucked
he
ass.
was one of those opponents where it's like you really need someone good to work with him.
He was just one of those guys John Cena beat up, and he was bland. I liked his mohawk, but
he actually would have had a great tag team with Daniel Bryan, I think, because those had amazing matches together.
I kind of liked him. He always has better matches against bigger people that other bosses, and him and Cesaro brought out the best in each other. Both of them were not fantastic on the mic, but together they kind of made it work.
They did.
Imagine if eventually they packed themselves. Well, managers is just such a, gone concept. Imagine these two with a solid manager. Boom.
They'd be unstoppable. They'd actually get a main event spot and that's something that's really missing from today's period of wrestling. We used to have the Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, Dudley Boys, what other tag teams? Magnum TA and Mr. Wrestling.
Well, I mean,
Von Erichs.
Von Erichs were built on
the Freebirds
tag teams.
And they were basically the headliners of an entire promotion.
When the WWF was at its top, I mean, it was Rock and Austin, but really it was Faction Wars in the late
New Age Outlaws.
It was everything. It was the Brood. It was the New Age Outlaws. It was the Alkalites. It was DX. It was
and they basically fleshed out the complete middle of the Attitude
Era. Domination, the Hart Dynasty. Like, it was all about these giant faction wars.
And it goes to show, man, like you can profit from having tag teams in marquee roles.
Bro, think about this. When was AEW its best? When they had when it first started, their tag team division was
when they had Young Bucks, when they had the Lucha Brothers.
It wasn't just Young Bucks; it was the Elite, and it was SCU, and then they had all these guys like Private Parts and
Private Parts,
Private Party, and the Luchasaurus, and
then it just reached its peak when it had freaking FTR in there, and then you bring in the Briscoes from Ring of Honor, like that's incredible.
Then they started. I don't know, man. The thing with AEW is they treat the way. I think the wins and losses had a lot to do with ruining their company, because top guys never wanted to take falls, because wins and losses mean something. Wins and losses mean something. You keep reinstating that into every fan's head. Next thing you know, whatever hot talent you have, they're not going to go in the main event. They're going to feud with Ricky Starks in the mid card for 2 months.
Also imagine killing your number one merchandise seller, who's a tag team in the Acclaimed.
Oh, yeah. I know. You know what's crazy? I knew Max Caster way before he was in AEW.
Wow.
But yeah, he was a local guy around where I live.
That's cool.
It was cool seeing him.
He was at his best, man, and then they just made him a single star and ruined everything. And that's the thing. Even when it's tempting to make one of them a star, you can't do it.
I have not touched AEW in a long.
I can't blame you. Yeah, ever since MJF had that title program with Samoa Joe and the dumb fucking devil nonsense.
Oh, I was gone way before that.
What was your last match you watched before you exited?
You know what? Give the bar a placing, and I'll try to find an exact match.
Yeah, I it's just so tough. I love the bar, but they're not one of those teams where it's like you're going to see them at the Hall of Fame induction. Oh my God, it's the bar. I can't put them with the British Bulldogs in the Hart Foundation. I think a deserving spot for them would be B tier, B for the bar. Would you disagree? Do you think they should be ranked higher?
No, I mean B tier. I mean, honestly, they would have to be in B tier just because they didn't have the longevity. I mean, if they were around for 3 more years, they would be
right
up there, but they weren't. So
That's true. You got the Bushwhackers up there. Ask Sniff. They are on the list, and I'm going to include them at some point. So
Okay, this is when I tuned out. It was late 2022 to early 2023, with all
Right.
the bullshit with the title with Punk, MJF, and Moxley having all
Yes.
that weird.
I think I did tune out as well. You know, I said that and then technically I was really like, dude, because that's the thing. I'm a wrestling fan who's like, I wait for the moments where things start to really like build up, because like I want to watch the whole program. I want to be like, man, the opening act of this was good, the middle act was good, the main event was good. Like I want a show to be an actual like good TV show from beginning to end. And around that time was when I was just thinking, God, the only thing that's keeping this thing together is MJF, and they're even like messing around with his character too. The Jungle Boy Jack Perry stuff that fucking pissed me off. See that real glass? I think that was the beginning of the end.
It was so the last one I fully completed was Claudio Castagnoli, Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door, because after that it was a 4-man fight for it was Hangman Page, Adam Cole, Okada, Jay White, and I was like, wow, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
This storyline sucks. Why are they even fighting? This is a terrible match. And I was like, okay, so this is what AEW is going to be now. It's going to be, the good stories are all gone. It's going to be guys who could working, but it's basically just like I think also the moment they brought Jeff Jarrett on, I was done.
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
That really didn't
Jeff
help.
Jarrett who wasn't even relevant in TNA in 2001 or 2002. Like people were
he was,
and then,
bro. What they're not beating this is the next WCW angle when you bring in fucking Jeff Jarrett and a fake Great Khali.
rotten, absolutely rotten.
The moment Jeff Jarrett came on, I was out.
Yeah. My name is Kurt Angle, and what the heck? I won a gold medal with the broken freaking neck. You don't scare me, no, no, no. I may suck, but you just blow. Word to your mother. Dude, Kurt Angle's the best in any variation.
Angle was great, man.
But let's see. So we ranked them. Why don't we do one more, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But are there any other tag teams you'd consider for the list?
Dude, I can't. This is what's really difficult because throughout, like, there's so many great tag teams that I know, but there's nobody. I'm trying to think like who's not going to be B or C tier, who could possibly be A tier, and there's just very few like guys that could probably be there. But I will probably say I'm going to Evil and Sonata.
Really?
Fantastic.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to go Evil and Sonata. We're a fantastic tag team that you could probably put around the B A tier.
That's true. But that's before the House of Torture, right?
Oh yeah, yes. Oh, you didn't watch New Japan Wrestling then?
Horrible.
Did you watch New Japan Wrestling? Like all of it?
That's the thing, man. I don't treat wrestling like, watching a TV show. I treat it like I'm waiting for the segments that are like really hit me. And then I watch those and I'm like, okay, I'm going to continue with this angle and see where it goes.
Prime New Japan Wrestling on Access TV before AEW, like right before AEW, the 3 years before AEW.
Oh, peak.
Was
peak.
Probably not just peak, but just like peak wrestling in general.
Yep.
And Evil and Sonata were just such a fucking fantastic tag team. No, House of Torture is dog shit.
Garbage. Like,
although I do like the Great O'Khan, though.
They're the reason why I hate interference in any match ever, is because of those guys. Dudley Boys, those are up there in S tier. Another question for No Chill. What was your favorite rivalry in AEW where you were like, man, this puts AEW on the map as like a company that can actually produce its own shit?
There was only one that was like that, and that was the Elite versus the Inner Circle. It peaked. That's like terrible. It peaked at its first. Like you could say Punk and MJF was good too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Punk versus MJF,
but I like
that because it reminded me in some ways of like angles that Roddy Piper would have in the 80s. And I know that he's a big inspiration.
MJF would like I loved that. Like when I've heard the first promo on Punk, I was like, damn, And then he just kept cutting the same fucking promo like for 6 weeks before the dog collar match. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
You gotta mix it up a little bit. But
Yeah.
you know, MJF and Punk, they had a really good match. I don't think it touched
that level again.
I don't remember what it. I could count all 4 great angles that AEW had, because there's literally only been 4. It was Inner Circle versus the Elite, Peak. What was that backstage match called that they had? Clash at
Parking lot brawl, or there was Anarchy at the arena.
No, it was the first one.
Shoot.
It was amazing.
Oh, Blood and Guts.
Nope. It was on one of the first AEW pay-per-views. It was amazing. I mean, it was so entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Double. It was Double or Nothing, and it was. Hold up. Let me see what the match was called. Give me a second, brother. It was called the Stadium Stampede.
Oh, the Stadium Stampede. That's right.
Now that was peak. That was peak. That was amazing.
You know, even though the pandemic sucked, it did allow for a lot of new match types to get created.
Some of them are mad overrated, though. To be honest,
yeah.
There's 2 from WWE that get highly praised, and I'm not a fan of. But
what are those?
AJ Styles and Undertaker,
the Boneyard,
and also the Cena Wyatt.
I did enjoy Cena Wyatt, just because it's really more of like just one big promo segment, and just having those 2 like at the height of just energies going at each other. I just enjoyed it because I love Bray on the mic.
I think that promo really just made me think like, wow, I gotta stop watching this shit. This is cartoony bullshit.
Wow.
but I get the 4 great things that AEW did. Like this, if wrestling never stopped being good, I would still be watching wrestling. But I feel like I'll never get back into it now just because of how.
I get it for sure.
Now that I'm watching MMA, but it was the Stadium Stampede, Elite versus the Inner Circle. Cody Rhodes and Jericho had a great opening feud.
That's true, because they actually took it seriously.
MJF and Punk were they're reaching that level, and what was the other one?
You know, it's actually been pretty solid as a feud.
Oh, it was Hangman and Kenny were fantastic.
That was good too. Hangman and Swerve has also been a pretty good feud.
Couldn't get into it.
Yeah, thought it was too extreme.
No,
you just didn't like the chemistry between them.
I don't like when stories don't match for the violence in the ring.
Right. It's sort of like when frickin' Randy Orton did the burning Bray's house right in front of him, and then they had that stupid match with the maggots.
No, that was disgusting.
That was the worst.
Burning the house was cool though.
Oh yeah, well yeah, exactly. But like you're saying, when the match doesn't line up with the feud.
I mean, Swerve and Hangman, like they don't have elements of their character to even play with.
Right.
These are the 2 guys on the like. That's the thing that WWE does that AEW doesn't understand to do. Like, just to think about Bray Wyatt for a second. Why was his character great? Was he the greatest wrestler ever?
No.
Was he the best with a live microphone?
And at certain points, yes.
He was good with the live microphone, but is he a Ric Flair? No, he doesn't really do stuff on the spot. He's not like that. But I remember, I remember that stupid little house in the
Firefly Funhouse.
The little hut.
Oh yeah, that
scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And the sheep mask that would just pop up on the screen. That would scare me. And then the Firefly Funhouse and all the imagery that it used in the set. Like he had attributes to his character.
Yeah, but he added to it. He made you like think about things when he was talking about them in promos.
He was the master of that. John Cena has stuff too. Like there's symbolism even with his wristbands, with his rap. Like there's layers and nuance upon really good wrestling stuff.
That's why
AEW has none of that.
Be a star is because he had one of the best angles.
Like Piper had the Piper's Pit, but he also had the shillelagh. He had stuff where it's like so memorable. But these AEW guys, it's like, oh, okay, I really hate you, or I really hate you more. I'm gonna beat
this
you
wrestler's
up.
name is Cheeseburger.
I do. I kind of like cheeseburger.
The other one plants people into his ass over and over again. That's his character.
Who's that? Billy Gunn?
Sonny Kiss in the early
Oh,
days.
Sonny Kiss.
Horrible.
I used to have a big crush on Sonny. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But I think Orange Cassidy. He's always been a guilty pleasure kind of character for me.
Oh, at first he was until they started. Until I just, oh god, they just take it too far. They can't make it like either. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you think of Danhausen?
I was hyped when he got signed.
I was
hyped
too.
as fuck.
And it all fell apart.
And then he came in, I was like, oh, this guy sucks.
He's also sort of like a Brian Pillman, where it's like, man, he breaks his leg first couple months in there, and now he's just doing promos.
He's also like a Brian Pillman, where I wish Brian Pillman would pull the fucking gun on me instead of making me watch a Danhausen match.
Agreed. But we have our final tag team, and per Sniff's wishes, they are the Bushwhackers.
Oh, they're going in S tier, brother. Bushwhackers are S tier as fuck.
These guys were in WCW first before they were in the WWE.
Dude, it wasn't WCW. It was all over. If you have to watch territory wrestling, you wouldn't think it, but these guys, the Sheep Herders, is what they were called.
Yes.
Not the Bushwhackers. They were two of the most violent men I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
They would stick forks in people's heads like Abdullah the Butcher. They were so fucking nasty.
They started in
hardcore
1966.
wrestlers. Yeah, man, they've had a long career. They were nasty hardcore wrestlers, dude.
Oh man, this explains they were in fucking big time wrestling.
They were in where is it, Puerto Rico? And they
Oh my God.
disgusting. Bro, you think I'm lying? They were having
Guaranteed.
really
Guaranteed.
disgusting hardcore matches. Yeah, look, hey, yeah.
Los Pastores.
Wait, hold on. It was talking about the violence that they were doing on one of these. It was talking about their like.
Yeah, let me see violence.
Violent, yeah. Hard hitting teams in the yeah, dude. They were nasty as fuck.
Yeah, they had a I think, and fuck Dave Meltzer, but back in the 80s when he actually had legitimacy as a critic, he gave them 5-star match. A 5-star match.
Yeah, Stan Lane, and Steve Kern.
Fantastics.
Oh shit.
Yes, classic shit. I watched, dude. One of my favorite, and I'm being like heartfelt with this. My favorite period of wrestling that I've watched was actually watching the entire year of 1986 in World Championship Wrestling.
Oh yeah, man.
Just hearing Dusty Rhodes promo, Magnum TA, watching the I Quit match with him and Tully a few months before 1986, Rock and Roll Express and Midnight, that entire year, fucking Legion of Doom, the fucking Skywalkers.
Oh,
dude, they were at the peak of their powers. Ric Flair is champion the entire year.
Was probably a little bit before that with Stan Hansen and Dusty Rhodes was always one of my favorite feuds of all time.
Do you Stan Hansen was the one who broke Bruno Sammartino's neck.
Well, as much as I love Bruno Italian Pride, he wasn't as. And for me, he wasn't as encapsulating as Stan Hansen.
No doubt. Oh, no doubt about that. Way better character. I actually think Stan Hansen's best period was when he was in Japan. When he was having like just big matches with fucking Terry Gordy as a tag team. Dr. Death teaming with him, having big matches with Masawa and Giant Baba and all those dudes.
Dude. Bro, it's just so crazy that they had these guys play fucking goofballs,
I know. They were so serious before.
Bro, they had big mangy. They pretty much looked almost exactly like the Wild. They looked like they lost a bunch of weight too. They looked like the Wild Samoans before.
They did.
They were so nasty, man.
And then the Bushwhackers, they were just really funny. You know, they were hilarious.
I honestly argue they aren't even funny.
Well, why? I thought they were hilarious.
Well, they have good physical like body comedy, but like when they're doing a promo, I was like, God, I hate hearing these guys talk.
Well, they were way. You know, it's crazy to think about this, but when the Bushwhackers were actually like making their debut, they were both like 48 or 47 apiece.
Wow.
They were
No
way
wonder.
past their primes.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think they've ever cut a face. They were never faces, I don't think, before their debut either.
If you showed me like two pictures, like a before and after of the sheep herders in the 1970s and 80s having brutal matches.
I just sent you one of their matches with the Fantastics.
Awesome. Well, I'll watch that again. I love that match.
Yeah.
But to think like show a picture or like a video of them having that match with the Fantastics in the 1980s, and then cut to one of the Bushwhackers being eliminated in 2 seconds by Hulk Hogan in the Royal Rumble, I might actually shed a tear. That's like the amount of wasted potential.
Well, I don't even think it's wasted potential.
That's they were getting up there in age. That's true.
Because what were they gonna do? Have really like hard hitting bloodbath past
Golden Age, yeah.
The Golden Age, like no, of course not. You know?
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't consider them S tier, but I would do you a solid and put them in A tier.
I think that the Bushwhackers were D or C tier, and the Sheep Herders are S tier, and you could let them weigh each other out in any way that you want.
Yeah, I'll put them on the higher side, because you know what, I'm going to put them right next to the Briscoe brothers, who are probably inspired by them.
Probably A tier is more fair because they were never like the Von Erichs where they could hold down a massive territory
for sure.
But they were selling out. They were selling out like territories that weren't as big as the Von Erichs territory. They were obviously they were consistent sellouts. They were draws. Like it's not like they weren't.
You know, I'm sort of happy that the bloodline lasted as long as it did, because I think it allowed the Usos to actually become like an attraction as a tag team.
Dude, it's very good that we have people like me and you know, young people who are going to tell the tales of these older wrestlers.
I know. Dude,
you know,
the best stuff is in the past. It's true.
Like, if you look at WWE, like people, WWE streamers, here, wait, I got something for you. You want to see him?
Let's see. Oh God, who was Con Man and Wrestling Days and these guys?
There's nobody with there's no MMA guru for like there's no real wrestling historian. You're out of luck, man. You got to do it yourself. But I got to show you something.
The closest I'd find would be like David Larson or Cultaholic.
Grimm's Toy Show.
That's it. Oh yeah, Grimm's Toy. I love Grimm's Toy Show.
Yeah, man. I've met him so many times.
Can you believe that dude did a segment with Max Feinstein before he was MJF?
Yeah, man. I don't. Call me after this.
Sure. Sounds good.
Look at this.
Let's take a look. Wow. Wait. Who is that?
It's Tito Santana.
Oh, Tito. Nice. Arriba! You know,
my dad's old wrestling figures.
Tito Santana had some great matches in the 1980s.
And he was Undertaker.
American Badass. I like the pose he put him in.
My dad's got a bunch of old wrestling figures that I have now. Oh shit! No way! Oh shit! Look at this one.
Oh shit! Is that That's not Brutus Beefcake, is it? Who is that?
Oh, that's not Brutus. That's someone. I'll give you a hint. He's got a tag team.
Shamrock?
No, that's Chris Benoit.
Oh, well, make sure to keep an eye on that guy and that action figure. Okay,
yeah, dude,
make sure
he might kill my Dominic Mysterio one.
Yeah, dude. If any of those action figures was gonna kill you in your sleep in a horror movie, it'd probably be Chris Benoit. Yeah. But this is the updated slideshow, the updated tier list we have for you guys. Of course, we got the Road Warriors, Dudley Boys, Midnight Express, Brothers of Destruction. By the way, I had to basically make an executive order. Lots of those happening these days. I had to make an executive decision and put the Midnight Express in S tier and override the votes because I was like, I was not going to have Midnight Express not be in S tier.
Midnight Express is easily S tier.
And then APA, that was a vote from the fans. It seems like because I was sort of had trouble putting these two in here because Brothers of Destruction, they're a fun gimmick, but like as a tag team,
You want to know something which is wild?
What is it?
I would have Young Bucks probably in A tier, S tier.
I can understand that. Like of all the modern day wrestling teams, I'd say they are definitely the most.
They've given me so much entertainment.
They're the most.
And I love the fucking
better
Legion
word.
of Doom too.
Oh, here we go. UWF, beautiful. I'm gonna watch that. And then of course I got to have the Hardys in there, or else Idaho was gonna kill me. And then Rock and Sock Connection, I put them in S tier because I love the Rock and Sock. I'm sorry, they're my boy.
Man, 100%. Make sure call me after the stream if you want a knowledge.
Sure.
drop.
And then we have British Bulldogs and the Hart Foundation in A tier because they were the best of 80s tag team wrestling in WWF, but they didn't have the mic skills at that point. Steiner's in A, which is just heresy, but the people decided on that. Edge and Christian A. Rock and Roll Express only in A, which is disgusting. Minnesota Wrecking Crew somehow found their way in A tier, which was like the surprise of this series so far. I'm surprised anybody even knew who the Minnesota Wrecking Crew was.
Bro, they just saw who was consisting of and put them high up.
Yeah, Gene and Ole. And then we have the Funk
Wait,
Brothers.
Gene and Ole?
Wait, it was Ole Anderson and somebody else. Who was
that's crazy. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew is also the name of Lesnar and Benjamin. So I was like, what?
Yeah, they based their name on also known simply as the Andersons, was originally a professional wrestling team who was formed by Gene and Lars Anderson back in the 1960s.
Don't catch yourself in a locker room with him.
That's how Arn Anderson was able to find his way into the wrestling business, thanks to these two.
That's a Gene Briscoe. Never mind.
Yes, and I'm going to mention those. But then we have the Funks, who are going to be in A tier forever!
I love Terry Funk. He's one of my favorites of all time, too.
He should not be retired right now. He should still be wrestling. And
he's retired from living, brother.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
God, you reminded me. Fuck.
Yep.
Man, that sucks, dude. And then we have the Briscoes from the 21st century. I have them in A tier just because they dominated Ring of Honor, dominated the regionals, found their way into a big league company, and had great matches with FTR right before they, split up due to the fucking accident, unfortunately.
You know what we have to do more next? If we do another, are you planning to do another one of these?
Oh yeah. I'm this is a continuing series.
Do you know what we gotta definitely do more of?
Sure, we'll get shoot.
Like junior or like cruiserweight tag,
junior heavyweight tag team titles.
We've got to put in some lighter guys because I feel we've missed out on. I don't see Red Dragon up on there.
I'm considering them. They're part of a bigger group. Of course, you know who that is.
Well, Undisputed Era was like not the best of Red Dragon at all.
That's true. I will say that the matches with Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly were pretty damn good, though.
No, they're great, man. But that's out of their prime.
That's true. And then we have the New Age Outlaws here in A tier. Bushwhackers in A tier are the Sheep Herders. 80% Sheep Herders, 20% Bushwhackers in A tier. Of course, we have the Rockers. See, one of them instead of the other isn't any good. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. You don't need Jannetty. Are you blind? And then we have the Freebirds, which honestly deserve to be an S tier because they were honestly the greatest heel tag team of all time for like 2 decades. So
Apollo 55 was
fantastic. Yes, they are on the list as well. I'm going to consider them. Then we have the Young Bucks in B, but spiritually they are S tier. Wyatt family's in B tier. Because just based off of Wyatt's mic skills alone, and also their great rivalry with the Shield. Then we have the Brainbusters, who I wanted to have an A tier, honestly. I was even considering them for S. but they put them down in B tier. But honestly, I think,
What?
yeah, which is insane, dude. You have fucking peak manager Bobby Heenan with those guys having 2 out of 3 falls matches with Hart Foundation and
Bro,
Demolition. Come on, man.
who are these fans that are
Casuals,
yeah.
full on casuals. Then we have the Lucha Bros in B. And actually, I wanted to ask you. I want to see Penta just have his solo run in the WWE. I want him to just win a belt and like be his own guy, because honestly, even though I like the Lucha Brothers as a tag team and I find their matches more, you know, I can sit through a Lucha Bros match easier than I can a Young Bucks match. I've always loved Penta as just a solo wrestler.
You want a
I think he has it all.
match to watch?
I feel like I just want Penta to have a solo career and Rey Fenix to have a solo career.
He's already proven that he is fantastic on his own.
Exactly.
Sammy Callahan versus Pentagon Jr.
Yes, that's a great match. And then we have Team Hell No in B tier. We have the Von Erich. We have well, hold on, I missed a whole section. We have Harlem Heat in B tier, but they want the gold, sucker. And then we have the Shield in B tier. Surprisingly,
Hey Hogan, I'm coming for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love Sensational Sherry in that promo. Was like, it's okay, Booker. You know, dude, Sensational Sherry was the fucking best.
She was great.
And then we have Total Elimination with the Eliminators from ECW. Now this is extreme. And then I actually want to hear your thoughts on this, because I put in an executive decision, I put the Von Erichs in B tier just because I felt like that they literally killed Chris. They killed Chris Von Erich. And honestly, they killed most of their family members too. So the Von Erichs are legendary, no doubt. All those people that went to David's funeral, crazy. But their continued existence as a tag team resulted in at least 2 or 3 of the family members.
It was a freak accident.
That's true, but there was
For me, Von Erichs are on very up there on S tier. They were some of the first. I don't think there was such a thing as a tag team draw before the Von Erichs. They were what
they did. They did create the Tornado tag team match.
They did, bro. They didn't just before the Von Erichs. No promoter was having tag team matches as the main event.
Yeah, that's true. They definitely changed the game. The thing is, I just can't let the memory of Chris Von Erich just lie and just be like they're perfect. You know, I had to.
Bro, that motherfucker died in a puddle.
That's true, but another one I believe blew his brains out or shot himself.
Brothers didn't kill him though.
That's true, but I'm saying like their continued existence as a tag team forced them to be like, we need Chris in here, and then they ended up getting injuries that resulted in them committing suicide.
Well, you could say the same about the Wyatt family in a different
That's
way.
true. That's true. But then we have the Nasty Boys in B. Solid ranking for them.
Nasty Boys are fucking disgusting.
Nasty. And then we have the Bar with Sheamus and Cesaro.
We are
the Bar. That was one of my favorite memories when they defended their tag team titles at WrestleMania and the Hardys came back and the place just fucking exploded. That's why I'm a continued wrestling fan. I just wait for pops like that one, you know, that just remind everybody.
Eventually, as you get older, the pops will be Braun Breaker's return, and you'll be like, oh.
Yuck. And then you'll leave.
I do like Braun Breaker too.
Oh no doubt he's a talent.
Saying,
it's just
it's
like,
not my generation.
Yeah.
Know?
It's just what characters are you gonna, be like, God, I'm so happy to see this person come back.
Oh, wow,
Our truth would probably be that.
47-year-old Roman Reigns. God damn.
Salam. Hey, Mushahid Khan, good to see you. Best tag team is Islam and Christianity. Brothers till the end right there. Yes. Absolute compadres.
Who do we have to take down together?
Best tag team is Dagestani Cousins. Oh, all we have to do is lock them in the jacuzzi. Best tag team is Hank the Tank and my comments. Yes, because I hardly read them. Wait, where did Paul London and Brian Kendrick fit? Where does Kevin Lee fit into all this? They fit into C tier. unfortunately. I was considering them for B, but No Chill and I came to the understanding that even though they had a great title reign, them as just a tag team, like in general, without the title run, is not B tier. Bushwhackers, wow, you guys don't know how much they are loved here in New Zealand. We do know. They're huge in New Zealand. They were the sheep herders before. They've been tag team for decades.
Bro, watch back the stream.
Yeah.
I knew about the sheep herders.
And then we get into the C tier with New Day and Usos for some godforsaken reason.
No, they both belong in ARS tier.
Exactly. And then Demolition in C tier, which I understand, honestly. They're a ripoff of the Road Warriors. The Diving Bomb Angels ended up in C tier, although I do enjoy the matches of the Diving Bomb Angels. And without them, there would be no Japanese women's tag team matches on American soil. We have the Mega Powers with the Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. The reason I put them way down in C tier is because they literally asked for them to go in S tier, despite them only having a year together in like 2 or 3 matches. So I punished them, but in all honesty, they probably deserve to be in B or A tier.
That's like. Well, with the Mega Power, like they're just so memorable because they were the catalyst for a giant feud.
Yeah, and they were big single stars before that, so of course they got over. It's pretty easy to do. And then we have the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. I wanted them to be higher, but the casuals refused. And then we have Eminem in C tier as well, when they were Ohio Valley Wrestling, they were fucking amazing. And then do you know this tag team, No Chill? The Fabulous Kangaroos.
I think they were on a Hulk Hogan's tour.
Yeah, but before that, they were the first ever big wrestling tag team draw. They won tag team titles and I think they did a bunch of matches with Antonino Rocca back in the 50s. So they got to that level. And then we have the Wild Samoans in C tier, Public Enemy in C tier, although I will say they're one of the more entertaining parts of watching ECW. We have the Soul Patrol with Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. I had to include them.
Yeah, C tier. Bro, if they wasn't for the show, there wasn't for that show about The Rock, nobody would give a fuck about Soul Patrol.
That's true. We have the Briscoe brothers from the 1970s in the C tier. Jerry Briscoe has more of a legacy as just a NWA world champion. And then we had Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat in C tier, but they were a phenomenal tag team in their time. Ivan and Nikita Koloff, the Russians. The Hollywood Blondes with Stunning Steve and Flying Brian, a very underappreciated tag team in WCW.
Yeah.
The Motor City Machine Guns. I had
in C tier.
I know, dude. I wanted them in A or B. Legendary. Like, so good that they ended up in WWE in their late 30s and won the tag belts in first.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that, man. That was insane.
That's insane. And you won't like this either. Beer Money is down in C tier as well. And then we have Mr. Fuji and Professor Tanaka are in C tier. And this is an interesting story. My dad, when I asked him like what he liked to watch when he was a wrestling fan, I was going to assume, oh yeah, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, all those guys. And he did mention Andre the Giant, but he was like, dude, I watched to see Mr. Fuji and Professor Tanaka.
Yeah, well, Mr. Fuji would throw shit in people's eyes. He was awesome.
Yeah, dude, the fucking salt. Very salty fellow. And then we had Money Inc. with Ted DiBiase and IRS. The reason I included it, not only do I love Erwin R. Shyster and Ted DiBiase, but they won 3 tag team titles as part of their group in the WWF. They dominated the early 90s. Then we have, of course, the world's greatest tag team with Benjamin and Haas. Benjamin will outlive them all. We have the Guerreros in C tier. And then finally, we have London and Kendrick. And I will say that London has honestly one of the greatest Royal Rumble spots of all time with that clothesline little like backflip he did outside the ring. great stuff. But yeah, that's the whole list. I want to thank No Chill MMA for hanging out in here and giving his takes on some of these teams, because I wanted to hear from a fellow wrestling aficionado here. And I also maybe this is a more serious matter and I shouldn't say it, but I'm glad that me and No Chill are buddies once again, and we buried the hatchet and are on good terms again, because hey, we've been together since honestly the start of me and Idaho's channel. I think so. Even before that, man, dude, when I was in City Life Project and I saw you there and we had a big war to see who would give the membership to you, dude. We've been comrades since then, so I didn't want to break up a good thing.
All good over here, bro.
Yeah. But let's read a few more comments. Joey Mercury, ladder spot. Oh, even reading that, I can see the nose caved in.
Wait a second. Did we not have Edge and Christian on the list?
They were on the list. They were in here in A tier.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Flying Brian. That's right. The GOAT, Flying Brian. I disagree, Booker man. Don't mention Mama Woodley or LaShonda. We'll show back up arguing with Sniff. That's true. And then the Mega Powers would explode. And that would be a terrible thing. You don't want the Mega Powers.
What a way to end the stream that would be.
Yeah. The snakes of MMA YouTube with Hank the Tank and No Chill MMA, and we show Sniff in the thumbnail with crossed out eyes.
We show LaShonda in the thumbnail.
Thumbnail, yeah. You show your messages with her on a Facebook Live. Wonderful. Yeah. But that's
don't forget to call me if you want some crazy information, guys.
Oh yeah, I'll call you right after this on
guys.
Discord.
Like the stream, so Hank's listen, it's people like Hank who are going to keep the legacies of Antonio Rocha alive. There's not many other people doing it.
Fought fucking Superman in a comic book.
You guys gotta make sure you like the stream. Not even just so it's the preservation of stories from long ago about wrestlers whose names you probably will never see again if you start watching now. And guys, subscribe to my channel too. It's No Chill MMA. Thank you for having me on. Have a good one.
Makes weekly content, No Chill MMA, nonstop fight companions too. And that's gonna wrap it up. Hank got knocked the fuck out, and that's a great way to end this stream. Thank you all for watching. I have been Hank the Tank. You have been the Splitty City Slickers, of course, and you have escaped the concrete jungle. For now. Oh yeah. Mega powers. With our powers combined with the Hulkamaniacs and the Macho Madness. Oh yeah. Eat your vitamins, do your homework. You'll find out that you're gonna be a wrestler just like me. Ooh, with your hot dog and at the barbecue, Hulk Hogan. Stay away from my Elizabeth here. Stay away. Those eyes, Lust Elizabeth, you understand? I could beat you for the belt 1, 2, 3. That would be okay. Oh yeah, you're a chief shot, huh? Oh, you think you're a big deal, huh?